everybody up from sunny Queensland, or rainy Queensland, I should say. The last couple of days it's been pissing down with rain. It's been humid and sticky. And today coming to you from Francesca's kitchen table before we head into the Mafia Hub to print off some stuff for a busy week. In Queensland, we've got Gold Coast tomorrow, Brisbane Wednesday, Sunshine Coast Thursday, and Stuart's arriving really late tonight. So we have just come off beautiful 3 nights and days in Byron Bay, where we just chilled out, slept, watched lots of movies, and literally just recharged after the massive masterclass we had here last week, the social media masterclass. So this morning I thought, what am I going to talk about? I've got my phone out, I don't have my pieces of paper out, and I go, where are all those topics? And I was deciding on a topic right to the very last minute. I think I changed my mind 3 times about what I wanted to talk about, and this is it. This is what I chose. Coaching is not the business. Good morning, Jen. It was great to meet you at the masterclass last week. So 9 a.m. Monday mornings, Melbourne time is our time. It's only about to hit 8 o'clock here, which means I've got an extra hour in the day, but we've been going to bed so super early, like 9:30 Queensland time, which is like 10:30 Melbourne time. But yeah, having big sleep, so I'm feeling refreshed. All right, you guys, so I'm just going to share this morning some insights around life coaching and coaching in general. Why can I talk about on this topic? Because almost 9 years to the day, actually, I signed up to become a life coach. It was March 2010, and what are we right now? March 2019. My course, my initiation, or the first intake training for the coaching that I did, was in May 2010. So yeah, this marked kind of a bit of an anniversary. No wonder I chose this particular topic. But good morning, Amy. Great to see you from home as well. All right, so first thing, when I was joining the coaching school that I was about to embark on this coaching journey. By the way, I've got a background in and a degree in psychology and psychophysiology, and I thought coaching was an additional tool to my passion for human behavior and personal development and all that sort of stuff. And I read the advertising said 6 figures part-time income. Right, and everything, promoted the fact, become a life coach, and this is the kind of business you can build behind this and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is great. And of course, being naive and not knowing much about this industry, I went on and promoted myself as a life coach. And this was my introduction. Hi, I'm Natasa Denman from PRS Coaching, and I help people get from A to B the fastest way possible, and I help them solve their limiting beliefs. Literally, if you are a life coach and you're watching this is probably what something of the similar sort that you may have been saying and introducing yourself. I even hired my own mentor and coach 3 months into the journey, because of course people said, and one of my spiels was, coaching gets you from A to B the fastest way possible, right? And so, and of course I hired my own coach because coaching gets you from A to B the fastest way possible. So I need one of those. But very, very quickly, and I guess the penny didn't drop for me for a little while, probably about 7 or 8 months in, even though I had my mentor and coach on my side, but I realized that coaching is not the business. Coaching is actually a tool that we use, just like NLP might be a tool, kinesiology might be a tool, timeline therapy, all of that kind of stuff is a tool that we solve. We look to solve a problem. Good morning, Sandra. Great to have you on the call, and you would probably agree with me since you've been in this industry for a little while, and I know that a lot of coaches watch this. So if I can save you a little bit of time of understanding how to position your life coaching differently, because yes, ultimately at the end of the day you coach. However, my mentor said to me, Nat, you first thing, you have to solve a problem, then you get to coach. Okay, because coaching is a tool. It's not the thing that sells. The thing that sells is the solution to the problem. And to me, like in the first few times he said it, it was like, oh yeah, yeah, that sounds nice, but I really don't get what it means. When I chose my first niche to be weight loss, because I kept attracting people that needed help with weight and, you know, what do you want to work on? You know, because I was promoting obviously generic coaching, they would have to say my health. What do you want to do? I want to lose 10 kilos. And that was kind of this repetitive pattern. So I chose that to be my very first niche. And so by choosing that to be my very first niche, I realized, oh, okay, so now I'm promoting lose the last 10 kilos. That's the problem I'm solving. But when they come to me, of course, I get to coach, right? Because people don't know what they need, and we cannot sell them self-awareness. We need to sell them a solution or something that is top of mind, that it's keeping them awake at night, that is niggling at them. And marketing needs to address those pain points and sell what we say the result or the outcome. So what is the result or the outcome? So think about it. When you have finished working with your clients, what goal have they achieved? When you have finished working with your clients, what goal have they achieved? So in this particular case, it was they've lost their 10 kilos, their last 10 kilos. In my Ultimate 48-Hour Author program, of course, they've come away a first-time author at the end of it. So when you have finished working with your clients, what is it, the goal that they have achieved? Now, for some of you who are really fresh in this industry or new, and you're kind of going, okay, I'm out here. I know, I understand. I have to niche, but what the hell do I do? Where do I go? And how do I find my niche, right? And the common, I guess, pattern that more experienced people will say to you is just, you don't have to choose something immediately. You can just see what you start attracting, which kind of also doesn't help, because, you know, it might be hard to attract someone when you're just selling, like, you know, the coaching aspect of it. You know, I'm a life coach or I'm a business coach, but what specifically, like, what is your lane? So in this case, what I suggest that you do and where you start is look at where it is that people see that you have results in your life that they want for themselves. So I often say this in my half-day workshop as a niching question or as a book topic selection question, is what do other people see in you that they want for themselves? What do other people see in you that they want for themselves? Another way to really think about it is, where have you spent your last 10,000 hours? So if I was to ask you, what have you done in the last 10 years? Okay, what have you repetitively done in the last 10 years where you perhaps have built up enough expertise now to be able to reverse engineer that and show people the shortcuts to that particular problem, a solution to the problem. For me, when I thought about it, it was that I had been in retail the previous 12 years, and I worked in management, in optics, and I was really good and so well organized, and I ran a really tight ship, and I ran really profitable retail-based businesses. Even though they weren't mine, I had this ability where I treated them as if they were mine, because I cared and I wanted the results, and I just wanted the recognition for, you know, doing well, because ultimately us achieving and doing well, it's not just for other people's businesses, but it's that self-fulfilling feeling that you get, you know, that you are achieving bigger and greater goals. That's always kind of been my attitude, because I believe that happiness comes from solving problems, and whenever you're in a business, you have lots of problems to solve. Therefore, if you can solve them and move on to the next thing, you become more happier. So let me just have a look at my my little notes here that I wrote like 6 months ago. I want to touch on some other points. So I've covered off, it's a tool, it's not the business. No one knows what a life coach is. If you get out there, seriously, it's super, super hard to define what is a life coach. And most people kind of like even almost smirk at you. And it actually has a really, bad stigma. I'm a life coach. Getting out there, it's built up a stigma that you shouldn't introduce yourself as that. So how can you tweak that from saying, I do life coaching? How can you call yourself? Can you call yourself a mentor of some sort, or give yourself a little name like, I call myself the Ultimate 48-Hour Author. At the end of the day, I am a coach, but also my title says what problem I solve. So think about how that positions you, and find and figure out what a sexier name to calling yourself purely a life coach is, because people don't know what it is. Unless they have studied it, unless they have been surrounded by those people who coach, most people don't even know, not life coach, even just purely what coaching is overall. All right, so so no one knows what a life coach is. Introduce yourself as something different and keep refining that until you find something that ultimately sits well with you. Solve a problem, then you get to coach. We covered off that one. Niche, what do other people see in you that they want for themselves? Where have you spent the last 10,000 hours? Oh, and there's another point here. So now some of you might go, okay, well, I haven't really done much in the last 10 years. Maybe you've been raising children. Maybe you've been doing something, that perhaps is not able to be monetized in a way. I say, well, okay, well, where does your passion and interests lie when you think about education or learning something for yourself? Because the other aspect of what we got told of how we can discover a niche or become an expert in a niche is if you read lots of books on a particular point. So you do the study behind a particular point and you develop the expertise. So you kind of end up setting yourself up your own little education and degree whereby you are mastering a particular topic, a skill, solution to a problem that people have, so you get the depth of knowledge. So when I chose, for example, that's exactly what I did for the weight loss stuff, you guys. So, I never went out to study nutrition. I never was a personal trainer. I basically had my own journey. Let me turn this off. I haven't turned Slack off. I had my own journey of having lost 10 kilos, just following a couple of books. And of course, I wanted to coach and all that sort of stuff. And yes, I had the mindset tools and the NLP and all that kind of stuff. But the additional things that were missing were, of course, the extra education behind the nutrition and all that sort of stuff. So I literally bought up so many weight loss books. I wanted to figure out new strategies of looking at it, new little tips and tricks. Because when we read books, what do we get? We get insights or ideas of how is this maybe transferable in my own life? How can I implement that? So from, learning and watching lots of videos, watching reading stuff, listening to audios, all of that kind of stuff, I made sense of what I believe is the secret formula to being able to lose those last 10 kilos. So I had the background of the human behavior, but if I wanted to add, the additional support into what I was doing, I then deepened my knowledge and resourcefulness around it, because, ultimately, what do your clients pay you for? Your clients pay you for a shortcut, right? So you studying, you reading, you digesting, you figuring out how to get them to an end point is ultimately what you get paid for, because not every single person out there wants to go out there and do the hard work where they're reading the 50 books, the 100 books a year on a particular topic, or taking the certain actions around it. People pay me even in my authoring business is because I have been in this circle, in this industry now, 8 years since I became an author myself, 5.5 since I've been helping people. But ultimately, they want the shortcut. They want the path of least resistance when it comes to solving the problem of writing a first book, or in the other case was about losing the last 10 kilos. Good morning, Sarita. So tell me, guys, for those of you who have been on for a little while, is this valuable? Is this making sense to you? Is this, do you have questions that you want to address? So read, and keep reading. Last year, I made it a mission to upskill yet again and discover, how to become an Amazon #1 bestseller, because I knew this particular strategy was a hack. So that if it's a strategy, there's a way to learn it. So what did I do? I bought a few books. I read about all the tips and strategies. I put in the hard work. Don't get me wrong, it took me like 5 minutes to become an Amazon bestseller because it was a strategy when it all went live. But the preparation in executing the strategy probably took me a good 30 to 50 hours, probably if not more, to make it happen and do it right. So this is what people, ultimately invest in, is because you have figured out a way, or you have studied a way, or experienced it for yourself that is actually going to save people time, money, or heartache in the long term. I mean, this is also why, when we talk about NLP being so powerful, someone can have one session and have a complete rewiring of their brain of a particular pattern or whatever it is. This is the power of it. So what is that worth to you? Is instant change worth you X amount of whatever investment it is versus something you might be struggling with for the next 5 to 10 years? So consider how much time and struggle you will be saving your clients, and accordingly then set the investment to that, and then learn how to communicate that to people. Because if you can't communicate the difference between, hey, here's what the picture looks like of you doing it yourself, and here's what the picture looks like if we did it together, then, people are not going to take the next steps with you. All right, so if you don't have a niche, if you haven't really done anything much in the last 10 years, if you're not attracting a particular thing, what topic are you passionate about learning more about for yourself? And how can you master that through borrowing books, through watching videos, just really immersing yourself, if it has to be in the beginning, a few hours a day into it, and then taking your own notes and designing your own thing. At the end of the day, guys, in this world, there's nothing new. Everything is read, regurgitated, packaged up as newer, sexier, whatever it is. And of course, as you're going through the processes, you're figuring out what you have done, and you're reverse engineering that in step by step. So if someone followed it, that would achieve the exact same result. So there's nothing actually new. There is, even Tony Robbins learned from Jim Rohn and Brian Tracy, the guys before him who were around on the speaking stages. And other people mimic and model Tony Robbins. And I use some of his quotes. But we become a culmination of all of them different experts, mentors, our own life experiences that we have shared, we have experienced or absorbed and made sense of it for ourselves. And that's what ultimately becomes your own unique intellectual property. Great points that it's about expanding our awareness in order to do that for our clients. Yeah, totally. Let me see another point that I had here on my notes. Read, master. Okay. Always walk your talk. Okay, so the next one is always walk your talk. People smell a fake a mile away. Okay, so what do I mean by this one? You have to be the first person to have achieved mastery and to be living and breathing proof. If you're a coach, of course, I'm talking about the business of coaching, right? I'm not talking about any other business. I'm talking about, the fact that, coach or mentorship as well, because sometimes, yes, it's said in defining what is coaching versus what is mentoring. Sometimes when defining coaching, you say, okay, well, you don't have to have achieved that result. You facilitate that through asking cool questions. I guess I'm moving a little bit more now to the mentorship side, but I know even as a coach, if I hadn't oozed the sense that I had achieved a particular goal for myself, people would not. There would be some kind of a disconnect of not being able to get clients into my business. So I'm a big believer that having achieved a specific goal that you're helping your clients solve is essential, because people can smell a fake a mile away. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to show anything. But energetically, people can feel whether we can be trusted, whether we have integrity, or whether we're doing what we say we can do. It'll be so hypocritical of me if I had never written a book and I'm out there teaching other people to how to write their books and take those very first steps, especially with their very first book. It would have been hypocritical if I hadn't lost those 10 kilos, which was my first niche, and which was the big realization for me, that was what people were seeing within me they wanted for themselves, but I did not have the awareness. There's no such thing as a new idea, as Sarita says. Read outside of tech specifically for that reason from Jen. Yeah, you guys, we have to continue upskilling ourselves. As they say, the old saying, you may have heard this one, but you're either green or growing, or you're ripe and rotting. And growth is where also happiness comes from, because when we stop and I see what's happened these last 9 years since the day I decided to become a life coach, right? I can see the evolution, the stages, the decisions, the mistakes I made, the risks I took, the rejections I received. I can see all that, but at the end of it, you know, it is the version of me that I'm so aligned with, I'm happy with, and I know there's going to be more rejection, more roadblocks and all that ahead of me. But I choose to just step forward one day at a time and serve people. So be there of service of people. If you look to help people, they will start seeing within you what they want. And sometimes it's come to the point where I've just helped someone because I've known something more than them. They go, oh, can I actually hire you to help me do this properly? Like, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I didn't even advertise or didn't put this out there. This happened with me with my product development niche. When I had brought out the first book and the first manual, people, health and wellness practitioners kept messaging me going, Nat, you seem to have done great things with these products and you'll put them out there. How did you do that? And then I'd have a conversation and realize, shit, I can't actually tell them everything in just a 10 or 20 minute conversation. So then I would have to, I would say, look, if you want to do it properly and you want accountability and all that sort of stuff, we might need to work together. And they go, yeah, totally. That's what I was contacting you about. Good morning, Andrew. I think the moment you become an expert, you stop being, unless you are continuously learning and growing. Yes, absolutely. All right, so let me see what else is my thing. So always walk your talk. Yep, people smell a fake away. Have a system that solves a problem. Okay, so this is the next one. So when coaches get out there, they can be very just kind of everything's up in the air. Well, obviously there's no system. But what I've realized is that people love to buy something neatly packaged up, wrapped up in a box, and say, this is the starting point, this is where we're going to start, and this is when we're going to finish, and this is the outcome and the result we're going to get when we finish working together. So how can you package up what those steps are? Where is the starting point? Where is this end point to the problem that you're solving? Because people love to buy a solution, right? Rather than saying, oh, you know, we're going to work together over 3 sessions or 6 sessions or whatever it is. How can you give your name of your program? Like, have a program. Everyone should have a program. This is where coaches get stuck on, you know, they see a client for 1 or 2 sessions and then they run out of things to say, you know. But again, if you did the reading, the studying, the things that, you know, you're developing your expertise, or you have it and you're now refining it, you will be able to figure out that there is an actual set of logical steps that you've got to take a person through in order for them to achieve a particular problem. Now, they might be strategic steps. In line with those strategic steps and action steps, you most likely will have to work on their mindset, right? And this is where your mindset and personal development background and coaching, you know, comes into, right? So you're not a coach, you're using coaching as a tool to solve a problem. When you're solving the problem, you are showing strategic steps or action steps, but along the way, every business that it has, you know, if you're facilitating change for people, you need to have some tools. And this is where your coaching and your mindset stuff is going to come into in hand, so that you can ask the questions, so you can get people unstuck, so they can keep moving towards their solution. It's essential. It's like a marriage made in heaven. Strategy and mindset come together. Without the strategy, obviously you can't solve the problem. Without the mindset, you can't break through to get to the other end to actually, you know, transform yourself. Because when someone is going on a big transformational life change, all of our old stuff comes up, all of the self-sabotage, all of the things that are holding us back, maybe from back from when we were little kids, or whatever patterns, whatever beliefs we had embedded or chose to take as our own, start to come up. So really, really important, you guys. All right, next one. What else did I have here? Okay, I have a system. So package it up, give it a start and end point. You can see the best entrepreneurs out there, people who are solving problems, have something that is a particular, it has a name. It's either academy or it's a particular, what is it? What's that guy? I was thinking of someone who does this program repetitively year after year. I can't think of his name. All right, what do I have? Innovate and evolve was my next one, which we've talked about. You even if we become an expert and you've got your system, you've got to, get better and take to that next stage, because obviously everyone is innovating and evolving if they're growing their businesses. And if you're not doing that, you will be left behind. And of course, the people new on the scene, the new kids on the block, will take the profit share, or they'll become the market leader. All right, so combine coaching with other tools. So coaching is not the be all and end all of how you can facilitate transformation for people. So what are other tools that you can develop? I know people who are coaches who also have the hypnotherapy skills or the timeline therapy skills, or kinesiology, or naturopathy. Of course, you don't have to become an expert at absolutely everything, but what other tools do you have in your bag of tools that perhaps will facilitate change or help your clients achieve the solution to the problem? So don't just rely on just one way. Good morning, guys. Lots of guys joining. Okay, and last one. Oh, okay. The last one is coaching is a need and not a want. Okay, so we've talked a lot about this last week at the masterclass, the difference between needs and wants. So coaching is a need, right? People need coaching to get through their stuff, but they don't buy it. Okay, it's not a want. The want is the solution to the problem. The want is what is keeping them awake at night? What is their pain? Yeah, that is the want. So it's the ego that has this pain that we have to sell to in our marketing and sales copy, and then we give the need and give to the soul, which is the coaching and facilitation of some of the inner work that us coaches do for our clients. So there you go, guys. So if you are a coach and you have just jumped on, go back and watch this whole video. I hope it's going to save you months or years of realization that coaching is not the business, that it's purely a tool. Keep looking for problem to solution. Where is pain? And then when you think about the pain that is out there, what is it, are people willing to invest to solve this pain? Because not every single pain to solution or problem to solution is monetizable. So do a little bit of research. And when, hey Beck, and when you do some research, this is what actually my first mentor got me to do. If you find a niche that you want to operate in, go and look at who the other people are and opt in on their databases, and just start to read and understand what the languaging is within this particular niche. Do not copy people, okay? Learn from people, but make everything your own. Make it your flavor and embrace that. And doesn't matter, and I will do another live, and tell me if you want a live on this, but I have got a live that talks about there is no competition out there. Yes, we might have competitors in the exact same niche, but if you want to develop the mindset of how to feel there is no competition, I'd be happy to bring that live, guys, to you. Because a lot of people get worried. They start thinking about other people outside, what they're doing, how they're doing it. But ultimately, in this industry that we're in, if you're a healer, if you're a consultant, psychologist, but we're all unique in our own flavor. And the right people will get attracted to you and will want to work with you, and you will have the best outcome for both parties. So, so go out there knowing that you have your own DNA. Don't copy other people. Learn from others, learn from multiple others, and create your own create your own intellectual property and keep refining that. Look in your backyard in terms of what you're doing and how you're doing it better day in and day out, because people who do copy others, they are very short-lived and they don't last long. So I hope you've enjoyed this Monday morning's live. Next week, yes, I'll be around, but from Cairns. I'm just trying to think where am I next Monday morning. I will be still up in Queensland for our last week. We've got 3 weeks up here. So next week I'll be coming to you at 8 a.m. Queensland time, 9 a.m. of course Melbourne time, and up from Queensland. If there are any specific topics, if you're curious about asking me any questions, I'll be happy to, as I've got my little stash of topics here on my phone, that I'd be happy to deliver to you. But I look forward to meeting many of you this week in Queensland, being, where are we? Gold Coast tomorrow, Brisbane Wednesday. Brisbane, we're filming the half-day workshop again, you guys. So much has changed since the last time we filmed the half-day event. I'm super excited to refilm it with obviously us talking about so many newer things. It's just so outdated, even though it was filmed 12 months ago professionally. So we're filming on Wednesday and we're doing some new videos with a professional videographer, and then off we go to the Sunshine Coast and then fly up to Cairns for the second mini holiday of this tour. So this tour's got 3 intense weeks, but 2 mini holidays in between those 3 intense weeks. And this time just with my hubby, no kids, while we wait for the Cairns event. All right, he's coming tonight, so I can't wait to see him. All right, guys, have a wonderful week and see you next time. Bye.